In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use the Flutter package chewie to have more controls for your video player in your Flutter app. This is the simple app we're going to build today, where we have this video player here with chewie, where we have multiple options here, and we can also make this full screen. As so, let's get started. As mentioned, we're going to use the Flutter package chewie. Just press on here to copy it to your clipboard. Then in your pubspec.yaml file, underneath your dependencies, just paste it in here. And you also need to go to the video player, and you also need to have the video player as dependency. So for this, also go to the video player package and just press on here to copy it to your clipboard, and then just paste it below the chewie package and then run pubget. Then concerning our layout, what I simply did was building a simple Flutter app where we have a scaffold. The scaffold has an app bar, and then the body has the chewie widget. Let me show you how to do this. First, import chewie and the video player into your Flutter file. Then globally define your video player controller and the chewie controller. Here in this case, the video player controller is late since we initialize it within the init function, and the chewie controller can be null. So as long as this controller is null, we're simply going to show a circular progress indicator, which I'm going to show you just in a bit. So then within the init state, I call a custom function called initPlayer. I wrote this custom function since it has to be asynchronous. And within this function here, we assign a video player controller. In this case, we load a video from the network, but you can also load this from an asset or a file. If you want to know how to do this with an asset or a file, I made another video about how to use the video player Flutter package. I'm gonna link this down below in the description box. So if you want to know how to do that, just check the video out. Then continuing on, we then have to await the initialization of the video player controller. And then once that is done, we can initialize our chewie controller. Here you have a lot of different options. First, of course, pass through the video player controller. Then here you can say whether the video should autoplay. So when you run the app, should it start already without the user interacting with it? Then looping means that once the video is done, it's gonna repeat and repeat and repeat. And here you also have another option which is called additional options. So in this case, when you press on these three dots here, then you can have also different options here. So in this case, it's a list of option items. And for example, the first option item has an on tap function. So when it's pressed, when you press on this option 1 here, then you can also give it an icon. So this is very likely only being displayed on Android, as you can see here an icon, and you can also give it a title, which you see here. Then one last thing to mention here for the controllers is that you of course should dispose them. And when you're disposing the chewie controller, since it's nullable, you can just put a question mark here. So if this is not null, just dispose it. And then finally, for our body of our scaffold, if the chewie controller is not null, then we are going to show the chewie widget and pass through the chewie controller. Here we force the chewie controller to be not null since we've already checked it here. Otherwise, if it's null, then it's just gonna show a circular progress indicator. I hope you liked this tutorial. Please leave a like and subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them down below in the comments, and thank you for watching.